start with the social work chatbot. So this is one of the OG original functions. And so the social work chatbot, again, this is at the socialworkmagic.com website. The social work chatbot functions, by now, most of you maybe are familiar with AI chatbots. And basically what this one is a chatbot. So in case you don't know, a chatbot kind of functions like if you're texting or messaging with a friend or a colleague or a supervisor. So it looks like just like a chat or a text. But this one in particular is trained in the background algorithm with expertise in all different areas of social work, mental health. So you can ask it any kind of question. So I'm going to just do a quick example. And if you have anything you want to ask it, just put it in the chat and I'll ask it here live and see how it responds. But let me just try to make up something off the top of my head. I'm going to use my voice to text just to make it easier. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but let me see. I will ask it. Let's start off with something super easy. Is social work hard to do? So that's a super basic question, but let's just send that off. And this, like I said, it's meant to be like a chat. So you're not going to get a super extensive answer because this is meant to be something that you can use very quickly, very easily while out in the field or, wherever you may be. So it gives an answer that's, on this simple question, you might see some expertise, but maybe not a lot of expertise. But I just want to show you how brief these answers are. And then you could follow up. Do social workers make a lot of money? How would you answer that? You might have a different answer, but let's see what the tool gives us. Again, so you see these answers are very brief, and that's intentional because it's not, sometimes you need a response or something that's just quick and easy. You don't want to go through a big old training manual or whatever it might be. So that's what this is. But now let's clear this chat and let's go with something a little bit more difficult or more social work specific. So let's say I'm on my first home visit as a new social worker and I'm not sure what to look for. Can you help me? So that's a little bit more detailed than just the first question. And let's see what it responds to that. Keeping in mind that this is just meant to be a chat. It's not meant to give you the full thing, but a decent amount of information in a quick and easily accessible format. So this says, during a home visit, you should observe the overall environment and living conditions. Look for signs of neglect or abuse, such as unexplained injuries or poor hygiene. Check if the home is clean, safe. So you see, it has the expertise in the background, the social work expertise. What happened here? I lost my casting. Let me see. Wireless casting. It's connected, it says. Why am I not able to see this? Sources unavailable. Let's see. Well, unfortunately, the mobile version, I don't know why it says I'm connected here, but it's not showing. So let me get rid of that for now. And I'll just have to use let me go here. I'll have to use the desktop version. Unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why, but let me turn this here. So if you're looking on your phone, you'll be able to turn your phone and see it. And let me turn myself here. So I'm going to just have to use the desktop version. So let me go into, let me go back to the tool, the chatbot. So the tool is available on any connected device. So whether you have a tablet, a desktop, a laptop, a cell phone, as long as you're connected to the internet, you will have access to the tool when you are a subscriber. So let's go back, and now I can't use my voice to text, so I'll have to type it out. So excuse any spelling mistakes because I'm trying to go fast. But let's say I'm on my first home visit and I don't know what to look for. This family has a history of, let's say, violence. History of violence. Can you help? Okay, so this is the desktop version on socialworkmagic.com. So you'll see it basically looks the same as the mobile version if you were here when I was showing that. But obviously it's on a desktop. So it says, check the living conditions. Is the home clean and safe? Listen carefully to what the family members say. Are there inconsistencies in their stories? Do they avoid certain topics? Remember, your safety is also important. If you feel threatened, and so you see at the end of this response, because it's programmed to give more brief, concise responses, sometimes it runs out of room in this particular format. I'll show you something else in a second that this won't happen. But if it does run out of space, all you do is type continue, and it will continue what it was talking about where it left off. So you see, lastly, document everything you observe and hear. This information will be crucial in any subsequent assessments or interventions. So it does continue, but because of the way that it's built to be simple, concise, quick information that you can grab, it cuts off sometimes. But you can, the good thing about this, if you're using it, is that you can treat this, like I said, just as if you're chatting with someone, a colleague or a supervisor. So you don't just have to take the answer as is. So let's say your safety is important. If you feel threatened at any point, leave the situation and seek assistance from your supervisor. So let's say you want to follow up on that point. Say, the family hasn't said or done anything to me, but I just feel a little unsafe. Should I continue? So this, as I said, is just like a chat. Trust your instincts. If it feels unsafe, it's important to prioritize your safety. You can politely excuse yourself and leave the premises. It's always better to err on the side of caution. Once you're in a safe location, contact your supervisor to discuss the situation and determine the next steps. Remember, your well-being is essential to effectively support others. So then you can ask it for something a little more specific or a little more concrete. So let me say, what are 5 things I can say to politely excuse myself? So as you see, I'm going back and forth. I'm having a conversation with this chatbot that has social work expertise training in the background. So here it gives me 5 things. Just realized I have another appointment I need to get to. I apologize for the oversight. I don't know about not being honest with that. That I might not. In an emergency situation, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But let's see what number 2 says. I'm sorry, but I need to step out for a moment to take an important call. It could be true if you're calling your supervisor. I seem to be feeling a bit unwell. I think it would be best if I reschedule our meeting. So it gives you some examples, and you could, like I'm trying to show here, you can continue to ask and dig deeper to get the kind of specific help that you need. But that's just what I'm trying to demonstrate on this one. But now, what I want to also show, if you click, so right now we're on the social work chatbot. That's what we're using right now. And you can see that here at the top. If you click on this one, social work AI templates, it's a complete different little setup, and there's a reason for it. So this section of the tool that you can find at socialworkmagic.com, this section is a template kind of area, and I'll show you what I mean by that right now. But this one is not meant to be like a back and forth chat. like the chatbot section. This is meant to be a little bit more structured, a little bit more guided, to help you kind of streamline the process and hone in on specifically what you want the AI to give you. So let me show you how it works. So you see here there are 5 drop down boxes, and there's one big white box in the middle. So with each drop down box, there's different things that are pre-selected that you can select and fill out. So I'll show you this one. The first one, choose a perspective for your desired response. So this is basically you're telling the AI who it should act as, or what kind of perspective it should be coming from. So if you look at the drop down list, you'll see the options that are here. Things like addiction expert, child welfare social worker, eligibility worker, medical social worker, parenting expert, social work intern, student. So there's all different choices here. And like I said, this is telling the AI what perspective or what role it should take in this response. So let's tell this one it's a child welfare social worker. So we've told the AI this is who we want you to act as. Then we're going to tell it what we want it to create. So similar to the other drop down, there's a lot of different things here. I'll read off some of them. I don't know if you'll be able to see them if you're watching this on your phone, but you can create an agenda, analysis, assessment tool, behavior plan, biopsychosocial assessment, burp note, case plan, court report, DAP note, email, a summary with bullet points, a summary with Roman numerals, talking points, treatment plan. So there's all these different things you can tell the AI that you want it to create for you. So we said that it was a child welfare social worker. So let's tell it that we wanted to create a burp note. I don't use those, but it was a suggestion from one of the users of the tool. It's something that they use in their work, and I'm trying to pull something up here on this other screen as I'm talking. But a burp note is a format of a note that one of the users used, and they wanted that to be added. So, what in the world? I don't know why that came up. Sorry about that. Hope you can. Yeah, you can still see it. Okay, so we added that kind of note, and I'm going to show you in a second. So this white box in the middle, this big box in the middle, is where you add details now. So this gives you an opportunity to. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Sorry. I'm going to use this in a second, and I'm getting off a different screen. Done. Okay, so the white box here in the middle, it allows you to add some details that you want to include in what the AI is producing. So let me paste this in here. This is what I just was copying on this other screen. So we've told the AI at this point to act as a child welfare social worker. We want it to produce a burp note. And then I have just this super fictional, made up, random information that I've come up with as a scenario just to help demonstrate some of this stuff. And so, I see here, Lenny Graham says, let's do a case note. I'm going to get to that other comment in a second. But so this is just, if you read through it, client is a 29-year-old African-American female diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar, has been prescribed psychotropics and was taking them regularly until last month. So there's a scenario here, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. But in this box, it's where you put any kind of details like that. You could put as much or as little detail as you want. It's usually a good idea to give like a moderate amount, because if you give not enough information, the AI will produce an answer, but it will be as limited as what you have fed it. But if you give it too much information, then it can confuse the AI, and it might give irrelevant information or make weird connections with the data. But that's if you put like a lot of stuff in there, too much. And at that point, if you're putting in that much information, it kind of defeats the purpose of this tool, which is meant to kind of streamline your process. So we've put this in here. Then the next couple boxes here, what voice do you want it to use? So you can tell the AI the tone that it should take and what it produces. We have things here from casual, concerned, clinical, formal, humorous, hopeful, informative. Let's go with professional. We're creating a burp note here, so let's go with professional. Who's the intended audience is the next one. So you have all these drop downs again: therapist, teacher, supervisor, nonprofit organization, colleague, doctor. Let's go with supervisor. You're gonna submit this note to your supervisor. And then the last one is, what is the desired length of your response? So you can choose anywhere from 1 to 100 to 250 to 500. I like to kind of default to no preference, because then that allows the AI, it doesn't constrain it, and it allows it to give the appropriate length. And I find that usually it is kind of what it should be. If I tell it how many words specifically, sometimes it seems like it doesn't produce the optimal result. So this is the Social Work Magic AI tool. You can find it at socialworkmagic.com. This is the template section. In this scenario, in this example, we've told it it's a child welfare social worker. We want it to create a burp note. We've given it some information. We want it to take a professional tone. This is meant for the resulting note will be given to our supervisor, and we don't have any preference to the length. Now, if you are a pro user of the tool, you can save the template. So you would name it, let's just say 29-year-old. I'm not going to do it right now, but you would give it a name. You would click Save Name. And then all of these drop downs that you have selected, the 5 drop downs, will be saved in your My Save Template section here in your menu. And so that way, let's say this is something that you do frequently on a regular basis, that you want to tell it, let's say a few times a week, that you're a child welfare social worker, you want a burp note, professional, to your supervisor. Say this is a regular thing you do. Instead of having to remember what you put, select it each and every time, you can just recall from your saved templates this scenario, and then you would just put in the white text box the different information for each client or whatever's the situation. But the pro users of the tool can save their template. But right now we're not going to do that. We are just going to submit. And so when you submit, you think about how long it might take you to take this information and then to create a burp note. And so here's the result. I forget what BIRP stands for. Like I said, I don't use that format, but this creates it. So one thing that I've also done in this tool to try to help with confidentiality, anytime it detects that there is a name or some personal information, it will use the word null. So that's what you'll see here, null, a 29-year-old African-American female diagnosed with PTSD. So it has created this burp note that took maybe 10 seconds, 15? I don't even think it took that long. 10 seconds, it created the note, and I'm talking here, so that's why it's taking so long. But you can theoretically get this note produced with no names, no identifying information, and you could get it done in 10 seconds as opposed to, it would take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20. So this is meant to be a tool to cut your work, to streamline your work, so that you can spend time doing other things, like maybe building a relationship with this individual, or, kind of consulting with a colleague, or whatever other work that you want to do that's more social work and less paperwork. This is meant to kind of help you streamline that process. So here in this scenario, we would copy this information. You could push this little copy button, or you could just copy it however you normally copy, and you would paste it into your secure environment, where you could then because using these tools is not a be all end all. It's not meant to just solve all your problems. You need to then, once you have this, use your own professionalism, social work expertise, experience, education, and then layer in those details that specific to the case. So in your secure environment, you could then include names, more details about the situation, more case-specific information. That once you copy it and paste it into your secure environment, you're able to do that. Currently, as we speak, I have my developer team working on an upgrade that we're probably going to be releasing in the next week or two. So right now, the only option is to copy, but there will be an option, number one, to expand. Expand on the response. So if you are not happy with this response, in the new version, when you click expand, it will obviously expand the response, give a little more detail, maybe some examples. It will increase or make an expanded version of this response. Will be an option to summarize. So maybe this wouldn't be the best example, but there are some instances when something gets produced and you don't need all that. You just want it to summarize it. So you push that, you'll be able to push a button and it will summarize it using bullet points, Roman numerals, paragraphs, whatever, but it will summarize it. Will be a button to simplify. So let's say you had requested something with the tone or the voice that you selected was clinical. So it produced for you something that has a clinical tone to it. But let's say you also want a kind of a simplified version of that, whatever you created, to give to the person that you're working with. You'll be able to push a button that's, I'd probably say like simplify, and it will simplify the information in such a way that it would take, in that scenario, that clinical response and make it have the same information but just simplified so you can use it in a different way. There will also be a button to email. So instead of this copying it and then pasting it into your secure environment, you'll be able to just hit the email button. It will automatically email it to your email, and then you will, you'll be able to do whatever you need to do with it from your own email. And it will also have a copy button. And I think there's one other thing that I'm forgetting, but there are upgrades coming within a week or two, and people who are on the Pro plan will have access to, like I mentioned, saving their templates and building their own prompt library that you can access at any time. And they will also have access to all of those new features that are coming. So that is the template section of the Social Work Magic AI tool. The last section that I wanted to show is the newest section that I have here, and it's called Specialized AI Assistance. So these are very different than what I just showed, and these are also undergoing an upgrade, but you will see kind of what these are about here. So these are, like I said, there's about 25 of them at this time, and once I get through all these upgrades that we're doing, there will be more that I'll be developing. But let's say, for instance, a lot of people like this one, the Social Work Template Generator. So you click on that one. So this is going to look different shortly as I work on these upgrades, but for now, this is how it works. So this is the Social Work Template Generator. Before you can click this button before using, and it kind of gives you just some basic information about the tool and how to use it. And it gives you some example questions that you might use when you're using the tool. But let's really get down to it. So at this point, the way this works is you click this little button and it opens up like a chatbot here on your screen. But this particular chatbot is trained with the ability to generate templates, things that you might want to template. Let's say, I need a template. Template for a safety assessment. let's just leave it at that for now. So we've told this specialized AI assistant I need a template for a safety assessment. And so it says, certainly I can provide you with a template for a safety assessment. To start, would you prefer the template to be structured in a bullet point list or table format? Let's just say bullet point. So the AI is kind of getting clarification on what it is that you need. And then it's going to take a second here. And I'm going to do a few other ones right now as examples. But each one of these bots has its own specialized function that are all very different from each other. So that was 15 seconds again, 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, it gives you a template or a structure for your safety assessment. So this says safety assessment template. It has client information, household members, presenting concern, observations. And for each one of these, it has sub-bullet points, such as under observations, it has living conditions, interactions between household members, signs of substance misuse, presence of weapons or other dangerous objects. So it continues risk factors, protective factors, safety plan recommendations, outcome of assessment, safety plan, workers' information. So it gives you the template, which is obviously by the name of this particular specialized bot, that's what it's meant to do. Does this template meet your needs, or would you like to adjust any elements? So we can say, I don't know, let's see what this does. I am working with immigrants from Central America who have survived political violence. Can you recreate to reflect this? I don't know what or if that will change anything or what it will change, but let's take a look and see. Let's see I should have been counting, see how long it takes, but let's see. So we initially asked just for a safety assessment, and it gave us a template to do our safety assessment. Now I gave it a little bit more specific. I said, I'm actually working with immigrants from Central America. They've gone through political violence, and I need my safety assessment to reflect that reality. So let's see what it did. Client information, household members, it has a section for immigration status, background of political violence with description of political violence, impact on client and family, current concerns, observations, legal and social barriers. That wasn't in the first one. I think within each of these sections, there is also a little bit more specificity to the experience of an immigrant coming from political violence. So that's just to show how you can tailor this particular specialized bot to give you the template that you need for this particular bot. So let's get out of this one and try a different one. So that's the example of the social work template generator. Let's try something different. And if anybody who's in here, if you can see it clearly enough on your screen, and if you have a specific one you want to try out, just let me know. Let's try this one. This one's also has been a popular one. The burnout support bot. Many of us have experienced. So most of these right now, they look similar to this. As I mentioned, this format, the way you see it, will look different soon for our subscribers for this particular access to this one. But right now, they look like this. So this is the burnout support bot. It says, "Hi, I'm the burnout support bot. I provide support, guidance, and tips for social workers and other helping professionals seeking to prevent burnout or to address current symptoms of burnout. How can I help you today?" So let's say I am sick and tired of my job and I need to go! Exclamation mark. How many, raise your hand if you've ever felt that or said that to yourself in a moment of frustration or long term you felt that, but most of us at some point, if you've been doing the work at any point, have felt sick and tired of the job and felt like you need to go. Raise your hand if that has been ever your experience. So, with this particular bot, so this one is trained with the ability to kind of work with the user on specifically with this burnout support. So it has kind of specialized, I guess is the way to describe it, training in the background to deal with that. So let me just try to read some of this in case you can't read it on your phone, if you're looking on your phone. I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling this way about your job. Experiencing such strong feelings of frustration and fatigue may indicate burnout, which is unfortunately common in helping professions. Taking proactive steps is important to prevent further emotional and physical strain. Here are some strategies you might consider. So it gives some brief descriptions of strategies. Assess the situation, take a break, set boundaries, seek support, consider your options, self-care, professional. So it tells all these things. Remember, your health and well-being should take priority. Taking actionable steps towards resolving your work to satisfaction is important. Would you like more detailed advice on any of these strategies, assistance with a specific aspect of your situation, or resources to help you make a career change? So let me tell it. I love social work, but this particular job is too much for me. So let's see what it has to say about that. So it did ask me for if I want clarification on any of these areas that it already gave me, but I just gave it back a general response, and I said, hey, I like this. I like social work, this particular job, and I don't think I've told it yet what my job is. No, I just said I'm sick of my job. But I'm just telling it, hey, I like social work. I don't want to leave the profession, but this job is too much. So let's see what it says. Loving social work, but finding your current position overwhelming is a challenging situation. Recognizing that the issue is not the profession itself, but with the specific role is an important distinction that can help guide your next steps. Here's what you might consider. Reflect, research, network, update your resume and skill set, apply for new positions, consult with supervisors. So it's giving you now strategies to kind of deal with your situation. It's commendable that you want to remain in social work despite the challenges you faced. By strategically looking for a role that better suits your strengths and needs, you can continue to make a positive impact while also taking care of your well-being. Would you like guidance on any specific part of this transition, such as how to approach networking in your field or tips on searching for new job opportunities? Let me put one more thing on this one and see. I'll say I am currently in, let's say, a school social worker, but I am interested in doing macro work. So this will be the last one I do on this bot, and then maybe we'll do one more bot and we'll see what happens after that. This again is at socialworkmagic.com. This is a social work an AI powered social work tool with a lot of different functionalities at this point. We are ready. If you weren't here yet, we looked at the social work the AI chatbot. We looked at the templates, and now we're kind of exploring some of these specialized assistants that have kind of more specific functionalities. So we told it that we're a school social worker, but we're interested in doing macro social work. And it's told us transitioning from being a school social worker to engaging in macro social work is an exciting shift that can broaden your impact on the community and policy level. Macro social work focuses on larger scale social problems and systemic change, including policy development, advocacy, community organizing, and program development. Here are steps to help you move in that direction. So this is now, it's not just kind of telling us what we want to hear and giving us empathy and kind of cookie cutter kind of responses, but it's trying to move the user in the direction that they're kind of, the AI detects that it wants to go. So I guess the AI is feeling from my responses that that I need assistance to move in a particular direction. So it's giving me these responses to help me shift from school social work to macro social work. So it gives some things here: educate yourself, skill development, gain experience, network. So it gives me all these different tips, strategies, ideas about how I can go from being a school social worker to doing macro social work. And you can, as the AI asked just one question ago, you can say like, expand on number 5. I know I said I wasn't going to do any more questions, but just to show this point. So number 5, what was that? I don't even know. Volunteer. Consider volunteering for advocacy groups. So let's say that was one of the points that it made that I want to know more about. So I'm telling the bot here, hey, tell me more. Expand on number 5. And so out of all these different points that it gave me, all these different suggestions or tips, it will, because I wanted more information about that particular bullet point or number, it should here in a second give me information about volunteering within the context of transitioning from a school social worker to doing macro social work. So it's taking a second here. I'm hoping that means it's going to give us something good. Here we go. Volunteering is a key strategy for gaining experience at macro social work and can serve many purposes: skill building, networking. So it gives us a list of why you would want to volunteer. Then it says, here's how to incorporate volunteering into your transition plan. So very specifically, it's giving us ideas of what is this how do I make volunteering actually mean something and do something for me and not just be just something that I do. So it's giving very concrete advice there. We could go on, but I hope that demonstrates what this bot does. Let me see. Let's see if anyone is in here wants to check out one specifically, or if not, maybe I'll choose one more. Maybe something more fun. Let's see. How about... this one is actually cool. Maybe it's not as fun, but this is the Helping Professional Resource Navigator. So I don't know how many of you have experienced this, but at times during my career, I have been frustrated because I need a resource in my local community. And I know things have changed a little bit nowadays with, online. When I started out, there was no online. And if there was, it was super limited. But even today, like, there's always challenges, and it's just time consuming to look for resources, to do searches, to whatever it is that you're looking for housing assistance or clothing or therapy, whatever it may be. It's a time consuming process to find that. And so this bot is meant to kind of help with that. Again, with the main idea of all of these social work magic tools of streamlining your process. And so let's say I'm currently in the Bay Area in California. But let me just show you that this is not designed to only help me in the Bay Area. Let's say youth recreation resources in where? I don't know, Des Moines, Iowa. I'm not from Iowa. I've never been to Iowa. I don't know what's available in Iowa, but I'm asking the Helping Professional Resource Navigator, hey, I'm a social worker in Des Moines, Iowa, or somewhere nearby, and I need resources for youth recreation in my local area, which in this scenario, Des Moines, Iowa. So here we go. It pulls up for me Des Moines Parks and Recreation with it tells us brief description of what they have and a link to the site. YMCA of Greater Des Moines, Boys and Girls Club, the Central Iowa, Des Moines Social Club, Science Center of Iowa, Des Moines Playhouse, Des Moines Public Library. So it gives you resources. That was 10 sec. Most of these are like within 10, 15 seconds. What might have taken you, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, an hour, minutes or however long to get to these resources and find the links and everything, it did it in 15 seconds. So if you could trade 15 seconds for 30 minutes of your time, would you do that? I would. So let's say, let's try something else. Spanish speaking men's support in, I don't know, Austin, Texas. I have family in Texas. I've never been there though, so I have no connection. This bot is not trained specifically. If you're in here and you want me to plug your city in or your resource need and see what it comes up with, we can do that. But I did not train this bot to give specific resources for these areas that I'm putting. You could put any area. I haven't tried out. I'm going to try one internationally in a second, but in the United States, it can do any of these. So for Spanish speaking men's support, it has a list here. El Buen Samaritano, Integral Care, the Safe Alliance, Catholic Charities, Austin Men's Center, Latino Healthcare Forum, with links to all of these things. So again, how long would it have taken you to find these resources, and how long did it take the bot? 20 seconds. So ask yourself, would you trade 20 seconds of your time for, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, 10 minutes. Let's say you're a super fast searcher. 20 seconds, 10 minutes. Which one would you rather spend time? Which one would you rather do to spend your time to get to these resources to get to your client? Let me try something that I have not tried, though, with this tool, actually. I'm going to try something internationally. What could I say? Women's survivor group in, let's go with Perth, Australia. I've never been to Australia. I don't know what's available there. But let's see if this can function internationally. So if you're a social worker in Perth, Australia, you were interested in using Social Work Magic and specifically the Helping Professional Resource Navigator, would this work for you? Let's see if it comes up with something. Because I know it works in the United States, but I have not tried it internationally. I think it should work because I'm rarely disappointed by these tools, but let's see. In Perth, Australia, there are several organizations that offer support groups and services for women survivors of trauma, violence, or abuse. Below are some options for such resources. Women's Health and Family Services, Zonta House Refuge Association, Starrick Services, Path of Hope Foundation, the Patricia Giles Center for Nonviolence, Women's Council for Domestic and Family Violence Services. So, and links to all of these things. And I don't know at this time if these links are, live, but it is trained. I mean, I know they're live because they're linked. I don't know if they're updated or not, is what I mean. But the algorithm is trained to provide links to functioning live websites if they're available. So I know these links are good. So I guess that answers the question that yes, the Helping Professional Resource Navigator does also function internationally. So basically, globally, will find resources for you and save you. I mean, for me to do that and find 7 resources in my local area or in Perth, Australia, it's going to take me 10, 15 minutes minimum. So let's say 15 minutes. 15 seconds versus 15 minutes. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. That gives me, let's say, 10 free minutes a day. If I do 5 of these activities throughout my day and use this tool as opposed to doing it on my own manually, that's 10 minutes saving times 5. That's an hour a day saving. So what could I do with an extra hour per day? How much is my time worth? How much do I get paid? And in 1 hour, that's how much time I'm saving. That's the value of what I'm saving by using these tools. So speaking of that, the last thing that I'll show here is these tools, because there is a subscription to them, because they do cost money to run. These are all run on the OpenAI platform. So underneath all this, the same AI technology that is used for ChatGPT is what is used for these tools. The difference in these is that they're specifically trained for social workers helping professionals. In ChatGPT, you can get a lot of these responses, but you really have to know how to prompt them, how to ask the right questions, give the right specific information in your questions to get these kind of social work specific responses. In these tools, in Social Work Magic, it's already built into it, so that's what the difference is. But because it uses that same technology as OpenAI, there's a cost to myself as the developer, the person who runs this, to be, as people are using these tools. Oops, there's a little pop up there for the book that I have written, Artificial Intelligence for Social Workers. You can see that there too. But there is a cost to me to run this, and obviously the cost for continued development with my development team, and innovation and maintenance and all those kinds of things. So I'll just describe briefly what the subscriptions are. So the monthly Magic Basic, which will give you access to the social work chatbot that we looked at initially, which is a basic chatbot trained with social work expertise, and it gives you access to the social work template section. You won't have access to save your templates and create your own personalized library of questions that you can use over and over. And you won't have access to, as I mentioned earlier, like the expand, simplify, summarize, email, all those functions that we're developing right now. That will not be in the basic plan. But still, it's very functional. Initially, it's the only version that we had. So the monthly Magic Basic is available $9.99. Very functional, very useful. Then the step up from that is the monthly Magic Pro, which has everything that I just mentioned, but it does allow you to build your own prompt library, so you can save your templates and use them over and over for things that you do day in and day out, so that you don't have to every single time remember what your variables were and select them and mix them up and all that. They're just saved for you and you can use them. So the Pro plan gives you access to your personalized prompt library, and in a week or two, when we have those added 5 or 6 functionalities, expand, summarize, simplify, add detail. There's a lot of different functionalities that will come with the Pro plan also, and the price will still remain the same for that monthly subscription, $15.99. If you only want the specialized assistants, which are these 25 currently specialized bots that we were just playing with a few minutes ago, the template builder, the resource finder, the burnout support. There's other stuff here if you want to, if you BSW student helper, MSW, if you're studying the ASWB study pal, a cultural competency guide, a career advisor. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. All of these plans have a 7-day free trial, so you can play with it and try it 7 days, no obligation. You could just cancel it after that if it doesn't work for you, and at least you played with it. Or you can keep it and use the functionality with no limit month to month. But if you only want the specialized bots, those 25 and growing, that's $12.99. And then the last one that I'm actually finding is pretty much been easily the most popular plan since we developed it recently. Like, I would say, it's 8 out of 10 subscribers, new subscribers, are you subscribing to this plan that's called the Whole Enchilada. The Whole Enchilada plan includes all of the social work specialized assistance, $12.99 a month normally for just that, and it includes all the functionality of the monthly Magic Pro plan. So you save all your template library, access to all the new 5 or 6 different functions that will be coming up soon. That's $15.99. So both of those together, that's almost $30 if you were to get the monthly Magic Pro and the specialized assistant separately, almost $30. But if you get the whole enchilada plan, it's $19.99 a month, and you have full functionality of all the more advanced features of the tool. So if you if you're interested, you can go to socialworkmagic.com. You could try any of these tools for free for 7 days. No obligation, no commitment. Once those 7 days come up, if you find that they're helpful for you, they're useful, they streamline your work, which is my intention. I've been a social worker for almost 30 years now, and I know the pain, I know the struggle of being overwhelmed, being frustrated, feeling like I don't have the support, definitely feeling like I don't have enough time to get all this pile of work done. And so, as I hopefully have demonstrated here, how these various tools can literally, like we've shown 5-6 examples now, how maybe 20 minutes to an hour's worth of work can be done in 15 seconds to a 1 minute, maybe, if you include typing in your question or whatever. So if you think about trading 1 minute of time for 1 hour of time, and how much time that frees up for you, and not just the time, not just the monetary value that your time is worth, but just think about, for me, I think about how that can diminish or decrease my stress levels, my frustration levels, my anxiety levels. Not that it's making the work necessarily easier or taking away crises or those things that come with the work, but at least it streamlines the work so that I can then, or the user can focus on that difficult work, building rapport, dealing with crisis, having difficult conversations with people that we work with, instead of thinking in the back of my mind, shoot, I got to go back and do all those notes. I got to find that resources for that other client. I got to do all these other little things. The AI can assist with that and free you up to do the work that you want to do as a social worker, and also time for yourself. Like, I'd love to take a coffee break or take my lunch, actually, and not eat at my desk while I'm writing a report. All those things can be possible, I think, with these tools. I found them to be possible as I use the tools. There is also, the last thing I'll say, I promise, is important about using not only the Social Work Magic AI tool, but any AI tool that you're using. So this AI technology, for the most part, is about a year old. So, I mean, it's older than that, but in large scale use, it's about a year old. And so it's very new. I mean, it's developing very quickly. It's changing quickly. And organizations are often not cut up with this. So we as social workers, or anybody really, there's not really a lot of guidelines, structure, frameworks to tell us how to use it, how to be responsible with the technology, how it can help us in practical situations. So because of that, a few months back, I took the time to develop this a guide for AI and social work, a framework for using artificial intelligence in social work. So if you go to socialworkmagic.com and you click on this link here, about halfway down the page, it'll take you to this page, or you can go to socialworkmagic.com/6 pillars free, because to me, in this thing, you'll find that there are 6 pillars that I've developed that are, if you follow those 6 foundational ideas and concepts, I think that you can responsibly and practically use AI in the work as a helping professional. So if you just go to this page on the website, you can download a free copy of, it's a 30-page guide. There's no cost to it. It's free for you. You can download it. There's, like I said, there's the 6 pillars of responsible and practical use. There's also a section of prompting strategies, so ways to be more efficient, more effective in how you ask things from AI so that you can get better responses. There's a section on that. And then there's also a section on this conversation, and I even had seen it in my comments a little while ago about why should we or should we not necessarily be concerned with AI taking our jobs as social workers? That whole conversation of AI technology versus social work and the humanistic approach that we need to take. And, will AI do that? Can AI do that? Are our jobs safe because of the nature of the work that we do? Those kinds of things are also discussed in this guide. So if you go to socialworkmagic.com/the number 6 pillars free, PILLARSFREE, then you can get this guide. So I think that's all I will talk about for now. I need to get some water. My throat's starting to get scratchy. But hopefully you've seen some of these tools, some of the things that are available here. Socialworkmagic.com is where you will find it. Any of the functionality of any of the tools that are here all come with a 7-day free trial. So you can, if you have some things that you want to do, you can sign up, get your 7 days, get all the work you want out of it. And although there is a cost to me in the background for you to be running those questions, I'm not, there's no cost to you. So you can do the 7 days free. If you like it and find it helpful, you keep it, and it's just a monthly subscription, just like Netflix, or I like the Sip Club at Panera for my coffee. So, any subscription that we have nowadays, they exist, and this is another one of them. But hopefully it's worth it. It's valuable to you and to the people that you serve to do more efficient work, more effective work, and really to take care of you, free up your time, streamline your work, and give you back some peace of mind and some work-life balance. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Follow me or subscribe to me or whatever platform you're watching this on now. And because I do put out more videos, more information, and sometimes freebies and coupons and stuff. So that's it. You can find me at Social Work Mentor or Social Work Magic, and my YouTube channel, that Social Work Mentor YouTube channel. There's a lot of stuff there too. So thanks again, and I will get out of here if I can figure out how to do it.